Hello Summoners, this is HeavyArms here, doing some commentary for a friend. This is another series I'll be starting. If you want me to do commentary over your game, give you some tips, give you some pointers, I would be happy to do so. Just send it on over to HeavyArmsGaming@gmail.com. And yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know if I'm going to do commentary for you. If not, if you don't hear back from me within like 48 hours, I probably won't be able to fit you in. But, yeah, for those of you who would like some help, please feel free. Again, that email address is HeavyArmsGaming@gmail.com. I'm going to be focusing on the Kassadin, because he's the one who's with the replay. Let's see, what's his starting items? He has Fairy Charm, Ward, and some potions. Okay, yeah, that's pretty standard. No big deal. Mid lane Kassadin versus... who does he have? Oh, a Zed. Oh, ooh, that's actually pretty rough. And he's sitting on 32 armor. Wait, no, I'm sorry, that's Lee Sin. He's sitting on 30 armor. Yeah, that could be a rough lane. I'm assuming that he didn't have some type of like mage AP page. I'm sorry, mage versus AD page with like some armor and some MR AP, something like that. That would have been better. I don't know what he's running. Probably just a ton of damage. Can't really tell from here, but at any rate, this could be a very tough lane. I would imagine so. I've never done this lane. I don't play that much Kassadin, but I mean, Zed is the type of champion who I can see just stomping a melee range caster. Even with his silence, once that wears off and the duration between with the silence is on cooldown and Zed isn't silenced, he can put out a lot of pain. So let's take a look at the lane. I'm going to set this to follow Kassadin. How do I do this? Kassadin! Okay. Oh, actually, gonna come up back over here. We have Fiddlesticks trying to gank, it looks like? No, they were countering Lee. Lee was trying to steal red, okay. So, back to Kass. Just press W for that. Cool. It's a pretty neat little interface, by the way. Very easy to navigate. Okay, so just... oh, wait, up top! Oh, first blood! Okay. So pretty standard, just harassing, backing up. I'm kind of surprised at how passive the Zed is being. Maybe he was waiting for a certain power point, like level 3, level 4, I don't know, but he just doesn't seem to be doing much of anything to Kassadin. The CS, of course, could be worked on, but that's true of anyone. I mean, CSing is something that you can never be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm as good as I need to be at CSing. You can always improve, you can always try and get that average higher. But doing a pretty good job of CSing there. I saw how he used his E to hit 2 creeps at once, one behind the Zed, while harassing the Zed. That's a very efficient use of mana. If at all possible to combo a last hit while hitting the enemy champion, do so! I mean, it just makes sense. Yeah, again, like a very, very passive lane. So, unfortunately we had a bug splat, but we are back. The only thing that was missed was Kass dying. The Zed got his 4, and basically as soon as he hit 4, he went into burst the Kassadin, and unfortunately Kass tried to fight back. Now that's going to be a lost fight, unless you have him whittled down, unless you have that Lee Sin coming in for a gank, or you just have some kind of particular advantage. And in this case, you just shouldn't have fought the guy. I mean, there was no real way you could have like outplayed him and won. It's a situation where, especially like an AD nuker, or just a nuker in general, if they come in and try and all-in you, it's not going to be the best idea to try and reciprocate. Because when you play these nukers, when you main them, one of the key points, one of the integral facets of playing an assassin or a nuker type champion is knowing a rough idea of how much damage you can do at each level to each champion, to what kind of armor, things like that. So I mean, hell, he sees this Kassadin here, who started with a Mechie pendant and some worth and some potions and no armor. Yeah, I mean that's like red flag. Please kill me. Please kill me. I get that you start with 34 armor, you want those early kills, but as a Kassadin, this is when you're weakest. This is when you want to sit back, you want to CS, you want to hang out, you want to just try and farm as you can, play defensive until ganks come, and wait for that 6. Then you can roam, then you can get around and help your lanes out, and help your jungler out, things like that. In lane, you're not going to want to try and just try this, ballsy, straight AP mana build. It's just going to get hurt. And I see, like right now, your creeps aren't dying, you're sitting here taunting this Zed who has already killed you, is already much stronger than you, has a 6. And we see the Sekiro right here. Obviously you didn't see him come around, there wasn't a ward. But even so, there's no reason to be up past the turret right now and just dicking around. Your creeps aren't dying, and yeah, he has his 6. I mean, even without Zed, I'm sorry, even without Hecarim there, you were dead. Like, you just ran out and died to Zed. Like, you have to kind of consider what's going to occur before you take an action. So now that Lee had to give up jungle because of that kill. Things kind of chain together. Like, one poor decision leads to another play, leads to another kill, leads to a lost game. Those kind of things. So that's why you really want to look. You want to think about what you're doing and consider what you're doing and why you're doing it. If you're not making these these decisions, if you're not sitting down and looking at your gameplay and going, "Why the hell am I doing the stuff I'm doing?" You're probably not going to advance very far. Kali level 6 versus level 5 Hecarim. She's doing pretty well. If she had her stacks up and Rengar wasn't here to just blow her up, that would have been a pretty one fight. Wait, we got something going. Okay, a little Lee single play. Oh, not bad. Kali is just late on the response. Okay. So back mid, you're doing what you should at this point. Just sitting back, trying to farm your turret. Like, that's the best thing you can do right now. Having wards around just so Zed can't roam is another thing you'd want to do if you're behind. Especially if you're going to try and freeze the lane and just sit back and farm. You know, ward up for your jungler, ward up for your bot. Zed's excellent at roaming. He has crazy damage if you let him... Lee is having to give up jungle control, basically because of that one kill. Or I'm sorry, that second kill where you were sitting out here taunting the Zed. There's no reason for that. Sit by the turret, wait for the creeps, wait for the safe play, wait for the gold there. So you don't have to, or so you don't end up, screwing your jungler over. Or the rest of your team, for that matter. It's things like that that can make the difference between a won and a lost game. Like, you might not think about it, but it's kind of like a butterfly effect. Butterfly flaps its wings and one side of the planet, and on the other side of the planet it creates a tsunami just because of, because of wind patterns that slightly altered, something like that. I don't know. But the point is, you want to be aware of the fact that, the most minor play can snowball into a loss. And I'm not saying, overanalyze, I'm not saying, be worried and, overly cautious while in lane. Make the smart plays, make the plays you know the outcome of. That's really what it comes down to. And that's why a lot of League of Legends is experience. Especially with assassins. Like I was saying earlier, you as an assassin, to be effective, you have to know how much damage you do at certain points in the game, with what items, versus what teams, versus what champions, things like that. Because when you know these things, when you know the outermost point at which you can nuke someone, that's when you can be most effective. That's when you can, say during team fights, your team goes in, your tank goes in, someone goes in, they throw some cooldowns around, and things are blowing up, and you have that moment where you can hop in, blow your cooldowns, and hop out before you die. That's when you'll want to look for those opportunities to nuke people, and that's when that knowledge of... Wait. Okay, so right there, I don't know why you turned around. Lee had the kill. I understand you want to try and get that kill, get back in the game, but watch for this Zed leaving lane. You didn't have to die there. Now, admittedly, Lee could have died to Zed, I guess, if you had left and Lee had to spend a bit longer trying to nuke down the Hecarim. It's possible that Lee would have died, but I mean, he is Lee Sin. He can hop to creeps, he can hop to champions, stuff like that. You could have hung around on the outskirts and just gave him someone to W2. Something like that. These are the kind of decisions you want to make, and these are the kind of decisions that will make the difference between a won and a lost game. In addition to the atomization choices you're making, so you bought this blasting one. Not the way you wanted to go. Well, I say that at this point, the lane is lost. Zed has thoroughly spanked, and if you try to fight him, he's going to continue to kill you. So maybe some more damage to get out into the lanes and like say for instance, help Akali finish off Rengar or whatever, or help bot out because Morgana can't land a snare, things like that. It'll help you nuke a bit harder. But in general, most of the time when you're losing a lane, build the defensive stat you need. Make it so that nuker can't sit there and just repeatedly farm you. That's just number one way for that snowbally Zed to carry his team to victory. Uh-oh. He's buying. He's buying. You've been there. Oh, he's still buying. Okay, no, he stopped. That's good. I don't know why he kicked. I mean, I understand maybe just kind of a reaction to kick. Better move there would have been to Q, kick, Q, and then jump to the creep. But, okay. Lee played pretty well, and Hecarim decided to tower dive at, like, level 4 or 5 or something. Level 6, rather. Anyway. Back at mid. Yeah, just farming up. I mean, at this point, when you're this far behind, you're against this double buff Zed with, like, 2 or 3 kills. Yeah, 3 kills. I mean, there's not much you can do in the lane anyway. Short of wait for a gank, hope that he messes up, hope he becomes overly confident, and allows you to get some kind of gank in and get a kill, get you back into the game, and set him further behind, or set him behind. Period. Yeah, you'll want to keep an eye on the Zed. I don't know. You didn't ping it, especially against someone who roams like Zed. When he leaves lane like that, you know, ping for your teammates. They'll want to know shit like that. They'll want to know that Zed is coming, or at least that he's missing. Again, like, just trying to be cute and stuff, like, it's not gonna pay off. It's not the way you want to play if you want to win. Anyway. Okay, second your tier up, Lee holding a lane. Not bad. But like I was saying earlier, like, you know, these itemization decisions, it's really, it'll make or break your game. Like, right now you have nothing but damage and mana. No, I mean, against the Zed, especially once behind, and you're not roaming like you aren't, get some kind of defensive stat so you can actually farm, so you can do more than just sit by turret and pray that the Zed farms and roams. Oh, intense PvP battles at top! Oh, Kari! You just look beaten, I'm just kidding. Okay, so it looks like we have a 2v2 lane now. Everyone's just kind of hanging out mid. Cool with that. Especially, like, for you, this is more advantageous. Zed has won the lane. He could sit here by himself and get all the CS, all the farm, while he denies you. However, with Hecarim there, he's sharing XP, sharing that farm, and it allows you the CS, and allows Lee the CS, so I don't know why they're just hanging up there. It was not advantageous. Maybe they're trying to set the kill. Soul the blue, that always hurts tremendously. Especially as Kass. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. And then she ults? What? Okay. So that was a winnable fight. If you had come down from blue, and Morgana hadn't waited till Zed had dropped down on Tristana to ult, if she had just seen that, immediately reacted, ult, and you had been like in jumping distance, that could have been a winnable fight. Go for the Hecarim first, nuke him down, take him out because he's the squishier target, and then try and 3v1 the Zed. That would have been the way to go. I think it was winnable, even with Zed being 3-1 at this point, or 3-0. I don't know, 3 and 1 billion. That could have been a winnable fight, I believe. I don't know why you're running Ignite there. Like, he still has 700 something health. I mean, even if Lee had gotten on him right there, I don't think he would have been able to finish him unless he just landed all of his abilities, like, had the Q, R, Q, E, whatever combo, and get up to the last moment. Okay, Fiddlesticks ult, miss. Ezreal ult, miss. Akali going in. Try. Okay, so I'm gonna back up this fight just a little bit and try and take a look at what happened. Okay. That's not where you want to be. Lee barely getting out, Fiddle's blowing his ult. Okay, so I see you silence the Fiddlesticks, and then you hop in to finish him off, and you die. That's not a trade you want to make. You don't want to trade your mid AP carry for support. Maybe in this particular instance, he might have been worth more than you. I can't really see how many death he has, or if he has any, but in this particular case, no, mid for support. Not really the best thing. Even if you were worth more gold, like they got like 3 or 4 assists out of that, plus the kill. So they came out ahead on that. As the assassin, as the AP mid, you generally want to wait until someone else initiates, wait till someone else has, until the enemy team has blown their cooldowns, blown their CC, then you hop in, blow your nuke, and hop out. Like, that's textbook how to play an assassin. If you're playing an assassin, you find that you're oftentimes the first person in the fight. You'll probably also find that you're not going to win that many games. Like this, for instance. I understand in this instance you silenced because otherwise he could have just hopped away. So, not bad there. But in general, if you're the one initiating the fights, it's not going to turn out well. If you're the one that's the first in to silence, unless you're setting up CC, like in this particular instance, you allow for the Morgana to land her Q and the Lee Sin to land his Q. Very good way to use your silence, especially while behind. Your damage isn't what you would like it to be at this stage in the game. So sometimes, oftentimes when you're behind, the best thing you can do with that ability is to set up other kills, set up other CC for others, as opposed to just like straight up hardcore trying to nuke someone. Okay, so enemy team going for Dragon. I would not contest. Okay, you hop onto the Ez, and then immediately out. Not bad. The fact that you're just sitting in the bush is a bit frustrating. Maybe be attacking someone, but just in order to avoid harassment, not bad. When you hopped in there initially with that silence, you guys probably could have won that fight a bit more handily. Maybe Tristana or Morgana survived. Okay, so in that instance, you hopped in, you silenced Ezreal. But by the time your team was in there and the fight had really begun, that silence had worn off. It wasn't really doing as much. I mean, of course, the damage was down, but the better decision would be to wait for your team to go in, wait for Ez to start focusing, start trying to fight back, then hop in, silence. He can't use his abilities, he can't hop away, he can't avoid the CC, and he can be nuked. When you do things like just then, when you hop in, they're all grouped up. I mean, it's going to happen just like it happened. You'll get your silence off, back off, and by the time the fight actually starts, the silence has worn off, and the Ez is free to get away. Okay, so now buying a Doran's ring. I can partially understand that. I mean, at this point, it's really. I mean, at any point up until now, you really wanted to go armor over anything else, but. I mean, health isn't bad. It's an extremely cost-efficient item, as everyone knows. It's the most cost-efficient item in the game. The Doran's items, that is. I don't know which of the three is the most efficient, but that's probably irrelevant. Okay, so you're initiating. That's the issue here. You went in, you silenced the fiddle, and he said, "Okay, 3-second fear, enjoy," and then you died. Like. Those are the kind of things you have to think about before you hop in. Like, even if one of them hadn't been there, that wouldn't have been a one trade. They would have been able to put out more damage on you put on them, most likely. You have to keep in mind when you're playing these assassin, jumpy, nukey type champions, you've really got to wait for someone else to initiate. You have to wait for someone else to make the stupid play and burn those cooldowns, get out in the middle, take that damage, and then go in. That isn't to say, if you're playing the assassin, you should just sit there and wait for kills and then clean up and stuff like that. I mean, if your team's fighting and you're full health and you see they're trying to get out but there isn't a kill, go ahead and hop in, slow, do whatever you can to help your team out. I'm not saying don't support your teammates, but in general, the best way to play an assassin is to let your team initiate, let everyone go in, let everyone get low, let them burn cooldowns, let them burn their ignites, their CC, then hop in and just blow people up. There's a lot of the time that's going to piss off your team. Oh, we got a play on Ez. That missed Q. That one didn't miss, though. Get him. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. So, right there, either back off, avoid the Q, Ez has it, it's like on a friggin' 2 to 2.5 second cooldown or something like that because he's blue build Ez. No, he's not. I lied. He's actually just kind of going ADS. Even still, very low cooldown on his Q, no health. I can understand why you wouldn't expect that the Blade of the Ruined King active to come down on you. Like, I would have expected that to have been blown by that point. But the Ez kept it. Maybe it just come off cooldown. I don't really know. Either way, you're way up in the front line. You're like auto-attacking and stuff. That's not how you want to play casting. You want to hop in, burn your cooldowns, get out. After everyone else has taken the damage, that is. Just because that's what's going to yield the best results more often than not. Your team, sometimes, if they don't understand how Assassin should be played, that may make them a bit angry. From their perspective, they see themselves going in, doing everything they possibly can, nuking people as low as they can, almost getting the kill, and then this Cassin comes in and just cleans up. So I mean, yeah, from their perspective, it's frustrating, but that is how Assassins should be played. Assassins are meant to get the kills. Assassins are meant to just be this glass cannon up front, tons of damage, and then get out or die.
Turret has been destroyed.
I don't know what happened there. It sounded like Fiddle's fear animation started to play, but then like nothing happened. Okay, so right there. Case in point again. You're initiating, you're going in. Let's say the Ez and the Fiddle weren't there. Let's just say it was Zed and it was you and Morgana versus Zed. Even still, this Zed is 8-something, and you are pretty far behind. It's 21 minutes, and you don't have your ROA yet. You just have a bunch of mana and a bit of AP and a bit of Magic Pen. If the Zed had just decided to fight you guys 2v1, he probably would have won, because your Morgana has no AP. And you don't have much damage. You certainly couldn't nuke him. So things like that. It seems like maybe you're not thinking about why you're going in as much. That's really what you have to do. You have to consider what you're doing, why you're doing it. You know, if you don't have a clear picture of what you're doing and why you're using your abilities, then you're going to have a rough time. It's going to be a tough game. I don't know how you ended up in this situation. Sorry, I wasn't watching. I'm just letting a directed camera, but back top, no, you're dead. Oh, the juke! Ah! I don't know how you got in this situation, but it just seems like you're being way too, just like out in the middle of people trying to like auto attack and that he almost had the plays, almost the play. Man, okay. So you guys didn't do bad in that little particular fight. Wait, dead. Okay, never mind. Ooh, dang, that was well played on Zed's part. I mean, it's obviously an uphill battle. You guys are 10 kills behind, and you're just playing way too aggressively. Okay, so you hop in, cool, get the kill, not bad. Got your team to assist. Get out. You're Cassidon. That's a Rengar. 1v1, he's gonna just like destroy you. Okay, you have a colleague coming. That makes sense. I don't know if that's what you're waiting on, if you're just trying to do damage. If you don't have a teammate coming, like if you're buying time, yeah, go ahead and force trades that you're going to lose on just because it might bait the opponent. But at the same time, if your opponent is smart, they might telegraph to them that, hey, you know, someone's coming. Like, this guy's obviously going to die. He's just basically fighting me to the death. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Caught the Ringer out of place. I don't know if he got cocky and thought he could fight Kali, but, you know, whatever. Free kill is a free kill. Okay, so you have your ROA, you have your home guard boots. Still pumping that tier. Yeah, again, man, like, it's your build is a lot of this. You have to sit down, look at the enemy team, say, what's my job, what kind of champion am I playing, what goals do I need to accomplish, and against this team, how is that going to work out? In this particular instance, you have 3 AD enemies. Grab armor. You're going to be able to live longer. You'll end up putting out more damage just because you can survive longer in fights. Your QE isn't going to do quite as much in one single round, but ooh, that CC. Ooh, that hurts. Man, that's a lot of CC. But these are the kind of things you want to think about, and these are the kind of decisions that are going to bring you up to the next level. When you can look at the enemy team, analyze what's going on, what they're building towards, what they're over-specializing in. Like in this particular instance, they have way too much AD. If your team had gotten some armor, it would have really helped out. If you had a particular rune page that had, like AP, Quints, Magic Pen Reds, and then like armor yellows and blues or something like that, that would have been amazing. That would have been perfect. And it's what I would recommend to anyone who is trying to specialize. Like if mid is your lane, or AD carry is your thing, or you only play jungle. If you have multiple rune pages for that particular role, it can only be a good thing. It'll allow you to pick these rune pages versus certain comps, and give you a slight advantage you wouldn't have had otherwise. And those are the kind of tactics you want to employ in solo queue, especially because kind of like I was saying earlier, it all ties back in. Like Zed, he knows about how much damage he does. He's probably played a bit of Zed. He has an idea of how much damage he can do to a Kassadin or to an AP carry mid. Now, if you had an exceptional amount of armor, or more armor than what he's accustomed to, he's going to do less damage than what he's used to, make mistakes as a result, you know, maybe miss out on some kills, or put himself out for a kill that he wouldn't have otherwise. At this point, I don't really know what you guys could do. I mean, they have, like, 2 really fed assassins. Their AD is pretty darn fed as well. Right now, it's their game to throw. Excuse me. It's a bit late. Right now, yeah, this is their game to throw. They don't seem to be doing much of throwing. Well, I say that wasn't a bad move by Akali. Yeah, but it's just they're too far ahead at this point. Their AD is just stacked. One armor item. No, I'm sorry, 2 armor items. 3, if you include Lee's boots. 3 total attack damage. I'm sorry, armor items on your entire enemy team. That is a problem. I mean, on your team, that is an issue. 3 attack damage type carries. Like, that should telegraph so hard. Stack some armor, get some armor early, get some armor in your runes and masteries. Help yourself out here, you're a Kassadin. Your laning phase is tough anyway. Help yourself out as much as you can to survive that laning phase so you can make it to 6, roam around, help your team out, help your team set up kills, help your team set up dragons, things like that. So recap up to this point, itemization, look at who you're playing against, decide, you know, think about why you're buying what you're buying. Don't just be like, well, this is what Mobile Fire said, or whatever website you said. You know, you have to kind of analyze what you're buying and why you're buying it. Same goes to runes and masteries. Don't have just this typical, oh, well, I have to go 2109 every single Kassadin game, or 9021, or whatever the cool kids do today on Kassadin. In this particular instance, when they have 3 ADs, it would have been an excellent idea to invest some points into the defense tree, just because of how efficient, how helpful those masteries would have been in lane. It would have allowed you to take less damage from creeps, harass a bit more. Zed would have had a much harder time nuking you, diving you, in general, allowing you to farm more, allowing you to get to this mid-late game a bit easier, and much less deaths. Other than that, the way you're playing an assassin is a bit incorrect. You're playing him way more frontline than he needs to be, or he should be, rather. What you should do, more often than not, as an assassin, as an AP carry, or someone who just does a bunch of upfront damage and then has nothing, much like Kassadin. You want to wait for your team to go in, wait for your team to initiate, or even wait for your team to be initiated on, and wait for those cooldowns to come down, wait for that CC to be blown, then hop in. And it's a game of patience, because, I mean, the enemy team is aware of the fact that you guys have a Kassadin. They know they want to save those cooldowns, but if you're more patient, I guarantee they will burn those cooldowns. That Taric will burn his stun, that Morgana will burn her snare. Whatever. Those cooldowns will be burned eventually. The person will just think the person that champion isn't here, or what have you, and that will give you the opportunity. It is a game of who is more patient. Oh, that hit room, it was very close. That was very, very close. So things like that, you want to be more backline as an AP carry, unless you're just a really fed Kassadin, but in this case, you're not. So best thing to do would have been to, set up CC for your team, or to try and clean up as much as possible and start to snowball. But other than that, laning phase, of course, work on CS. Everyone can work on CS. There's no one in this entire game who couldn't do CS a bit better. Oh, giving that as the business! Giving as the business! Good. CS is shut down, and this is... I know earlier I said, pretty uphill battle, the enemy will have to throw. It's solo queue. People throw. I mean, stuff happens. People get way too cocky. People start dicking around, especially at lower tiers. They figure that they have the game in the bag, and then they start feeding. And then the game's lost, and everyone's mad. So, you should always play the game like it's close. You should, I mean, that's partially incorrect. You should take advantage of the advantages you do have, but to be overly aggressive, to be overly cocky, to dive turrets, and just do crazy shit like that, just gonna put you behind. But that's also another reason why you never want to give up. Giving up doesn't help. because, as I was saying, people throw, people make poor decisions, people get cocky, and, you know, stuff happens. I mean, I'm sure we've all had games that we've come back from, like, you know, 10, 15, 20 kills behind, because the enemy team was messing around. But that's really it for this game. I'm going to stop here. 30 minutes of commentary is all I can muster. Again, if you would like me to commentate your games, please feel free to send them over if you have any feedback. I'd be happy to hear it. You can send your replays to HeavyArmsGaming@gmail.com. Again, if you don't hear back from me within about 48 hours, just assume that I won't be able to fit you in. But if I am going to commentate your game, I will let you know by email, and I'll probably email you once I have it up. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and comment. Till then, see ya.